Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the fourth and final of our little test session, Parenting Heart. I'd just like, before I begin, thank you, Jonah, for looking after the last session whilst I was on my London travels. So he will be manning the questions. If you have any, please ask. Let's just go over the house rules. Make sure the area you're working is safe. No trip hazards. Make sure you have your phone by you and a glass of water. And if you feel this is just getting a little bit too difficult, then take a breath. Okay, so what we're going to do today, we're going to work out of my latest book. So this is basically an exercise book that doesn't involve much exercise. It's all about movement and activity. And it's a self-help and body awareness guide taking a functional approach. It's available free to download on my website, which Claire is going to put up through the chat. And also, if you'd like a physical copy, then I think they're going to be distributed at the hub meeting. But if you want one sent to your door, then please feel free to message me from my website and I will send you a physical copy. Right, so what we're going to do is start with the core. So we're just going to sit up nice and straight. We're going to imagine that zip going from your groin up to your belly button. Draw it in, not too much that you stop breathing. Remember, one of the core muscles is the diaphragm. So if you pull everything in too tightly, you will stop. And then, whilst your core is on, I want you to think about, have I got a neutral spine? Now, a neutral spine for me will be different to you. We're all different. But basically, the easiest way to describe it is when your spine is neutral, you cannot feel your back. All your body weight will be sitting in your tummy area. Okay? If you feel body weight in your back, your spine is neutral. So you may want to just have a little adjustment. One thing that will help is make sure your heels are directly underneath your knees. Sit with your heels past your knees. That shortens the hamstring, it tilts the pelvis, and it puts body weight into the lower back. So always heels underneath. So we're just going to sit there, nice and strong, breathing, and we're just going to hold that for another 30 seconds. So actually hold it there, remembering to breathe, and then start thinking about the rest of your body. I like to take the holistic approach, thinking about everything. Try and just relax your forehead. Unclench your jaw. Make sure you're taking big, deep breaths. Remember what we said on the first or second session. Relax the shoulders. Feel your shoulder blades sitting in the correct position. And you can either have hands on the knees or arms by your side. And just try and hold everything in place. And this in itself is a great exercise. It's realigning the body. It's working on posture, working your core. And just sitting like this at home for a minute or more is a really good, simple exercise, a great way to get started. Right, so now we're going to talk about basic support. We need to be standing for this. So basically, your base of support is just the bits of you that are in contact with what you're standing on. So most people, if they've got poor balance or feel unsteady on their feet, will stand like this because it's safe. Okay, but the trouble is by standing like this, you're not actually addressing the symptoms, because then when you do go to walk, you're not going to be used to it and it's going to feel quite unnerving and uneasy. You're going to have poor balance. So, let's just turn these off, getting a bit toasty in here. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to practice standing shoulder distance apart, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to challenge our base support as we go along. If at any time you don't like it, it feels unsafe, then just stick to the pattern that you're used to or use something to support your body weight. So if everyone feels happy standing like this, then let's challenge it and let's stand feet close together. And let's hold that for 10, 20 seconds, remembering to keep your core on, neutral spine, try and relax your shoulders and hold that. So if you feel safe here, and you're happy, let's move on to the next phase, okay? And that is semi-tandem. So what we do is we just bring a foot forward like so. So if I stand side on, it's like this. And let's try and hold that. Now, if that feels comfortable, then we're going to move on to full tandem. So you might need something to support, and you just put a heel on the toe and try and hold it there. And what we're doing here, by challenging your base of support, this is a real easy way of improving your balance and general stability on your feet, making you much less prone to falling. And if that one feels okay, then we just go up to a knee raise and we just hold like so, about 10 seconds in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's a nice, easy, gentle way of starting to improve balance. And then what you can do is when you are actually exercising on your own, instead of just standing feet distance apart, challenge your base of support. So a classic example is bicep curls, either using weights or bands. Instead of just standing feet distance apart, stand semi-tandem and try it. Or if you're feeling really flash, stand on one leg and try it. And that way, as well as exercising and strengthening your upper body and your arms, you're also working on balance. How are we doing for questions?
So Maggie just did last quick on back. Then I just come up.
Okay, so you want to, we are going to do a little bit, but good. Yeah, excellent. Right, so that's your base of support. Now, balance itself is multifactorial, okay? It annoys me that if you go into a gym or you see a trainer, most of people's ideas of improving balance goes, well, if you've got no balance, just stand on one leg. Okay, but there's other factors involved. So there's 3 systems that are in charge of balance. You've got your visual system, and most people are too reliant on their vision. So if your vision's dampened, so in the winter when it gets dark, or if you wear sunglasses, that's when you're more likely to have a fall, because you've taken some of the vision away and the other systems can't cope. So we've got somatosensory system, which at the moment, my somatosensory system is my bottom, but when I'm standing, it's my feet. So that's how you feel things. What we're going to talk about is the vestibular system. Okay, so that's the inner ear. Now, with these exercises, if you go too far, what we're looking for, basically, we're going to start gently and build up, and we're looking for the slightest reaction. So when we do it, you might feel your eye flicker, or you might feel a little bit of wave of nausea. If that happens, do not move on to the next exercise. These are going to be progressive. So we're going to start gently, okay? And all we're going to do, first of all, sitting tall with your core on. We're just going to do some head turns. So let's turn to the right, back to center, to the left, back to center. Now, you don't want to do big turns on the neck, but just think 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. So let's carry that on. Turn, center, turn, center. Let's go 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that's the first exercise. If that makes you feel a little bit woozy or cause a reaction, don't progress on to the next exercise, stick with that. Okay, because when your vestibular system's out, it can make you dizzy, it can make you feel a bit seasick, and that's quite odd. Which is why it's always good to train this. So the next version of that is doing the same thing with the eyes closed. So let's close our eyes and let's turn to the right, back to center, to the left, back to center, right, back to center, left. Remember that core. Right, back to center, left, back to center. 2 more. Right, back to center, and left, back to center. Now, hopefully, that didn't cause a reaction with everyone and we all feel okay. And let's move on to the next exercise to improve vestibular system. So what I want you to do, I want you to look at the wall in front and find something to focus on. There might be a picture on the wall, it might be an ornament. Keep your eyes on that. So we're going to turn to the right, and then look back. Turn to the left, and then look back. Turn to the right, and then look back. Left, look back. Let's do 4 more. Keep that core on. 4, and back. 3, and back. 2, and back. 1, and back. Good. So did that make anyone feel a bit woozy, a little bit? Right? If it did, stick to that exercise or try the one before. If it didn't, we're going to go to the next exercise. Now this one, we want the eyes fixed on the target the whole time. Okay, so when you turn your head, you do not stop looking at that target. So let's try that. There at the target, and to the right, back to center, left, back to center, right, back to center, left, back to center, right, back to center, left, back to center. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. See, I looked away, that's that caused the reaction. Obviously, I need to practice one. This is why you don't realise the vestibular now. It's such an innocent little thing that can go wrong, but it can cause major trouble. So if you're walking down the road, someone calls out your name, or like a bird flies by and you look at it as you're walking, and your vestibular system, that can make it go. Okay? So the next exercise we're going to do, I don't expect you to do this one, I'm just going to demonstrate, and it's called tick-tock walking. And the best place to do this is in the kitchen. Initially, before you get used to it, you want to have your hands supported here, holding on. So just imagine I've got my kitchen worktop here. And what you do, you step and your head turns in the direction of the lead leg. So we turn, 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 okay? So what you do, if we step with the left first, we turn to the left, then right, turn to the right, like so, turn, turn. And that's a good one to practice at home, but make sure when you do it, first of all, you're holding on. So the last thing you want is to write, okay, and then you've got nothing to hold on. So definitely worth having a look at your vestibular system every now and then to improve your balance and reduce your risk. Right, so this is where we go to hip. We're going to go to page 18 of this. So we're going to start with a simple hip mobility exercise. Standing. Right, so what I want you to do, holding on if you need to, but if not, great. Keep that core on, neutral spine, shoulders relaxed. We're going to raise the knee, okay? We're just going to hold for 3, 2, 1, and down. And let's try the other side. Raise the knee. 3, 2, 1, and down. Right, is everyone okay with that? Now what we're going to do is make it a little bit harder and involve the hips. We're going to raise the knee and extend the leg. Hold for a few seconds, pull it back, and step down again. So, raise the knee, extend the leg, hold for a few seconds, lift it up and put it down again. Let's do 1 more of those. Raise the knee, extend the leg, hold it for a few seconds and put it down. Again, this is doing a few birds with one stone. We're working on balance, working on both core, hip mobility. Let's try the other leg now. We'll just raise the knee and hold and down. Let's do 1 more to warm up. Raise the knee, hold, whoop, I've gone, and down. Okay. Now I can feel myself, I'm a bit unstable on that side. And that's actually coming from my ankle. I felt instability in my ankle. So obviously somewhere along the line this week, I've niggled my ankle and I need to work on that later. Right, so let's try the hip. Raise, extend the leg, hold for a few seconds, up and back down again. Let's do 2 more of those. Raise, extend the leg, hold for a few seconds. I am struggling with this one, Jonah. Come back down. Something's happening. Aren't our bodies wonderful? Raise, extend the leg, pull it in, and come down. Right, so that's the hip mobility. Then we're going to move on to just marching on the spot. And rather than doing this for power, what we're going to do is it's slow and controlled, like so. We're going to do 10 on each leg. So that's 2, Keep that core on. Try not to swing from side to side as you do this. And just feel you're in control of your spine. You're in control of those hips. You're not leaning backwards, leaning forwards. Good. I think that's 5. It's a common fact that no trainer can count and talk at the same time. So 7, 8, good, 9, and 10. Good. Now, if you're doing that properly, you should really feel it. You should feel those muscles working. They're working hard to stabilize you. One of the main muscles that stops you when you're lifting your leg falling over are your glute muscles. So you should feel it in your bum. You should obviously feel it in your core. You should feel it. I'm feeling it on my inner thighs, where my inner thighs are stabilizing the weight of my leg, and obviously my thighs. So let's try that again. Feet at distance apart. To start, core on, neutral spine, head up, and let's go. 1. I'm going to actually count properly. 2. 3. 4. Everyone all right? 5. 6. Good. Keep that core on. Should be starting to get difficult now. It is for me. I've lost count. It's ridiculous. 9. Brains come extra. And 10. Good. And rest. Right. So now we're going to talk about obstacle negotiation. And this one's called stepping over the dog. Okay, so you want to imagine that there's a nice Labrador lying on the floor. Make it challenging. So Labrador, not Chihuahua. So the doggy's standing here. We're going to stand to the side of the dog. And we're going to step over the dog. But make sure you also step with the trailing legs. You want to kick the dog. So step back over it. Okay? Let's go again. Step over and back. Good. So this is more of a functional exercise. Step over and back. One more time. Step over and back. Right. Is everyone okay with that one? So what you should be feeling here are the muscles here working, the muscles here working. Obviously, your core working because everyone's got their core on. And hopefully, no backache because everyone's got a neutral spine because they're using their core. So let's try that again. Let's step over the dog. Big step. And over. Big step. And over. Let's do 2 more. Big step. And over. One more time. Big step. And over. Good. Right. Everyone happy with that? Any questions before we move on? Nothing? Good. So now we're going to have a bit of fun. Now, the one job I had to do today was to remember to bring a cushion in with me. And of course, I didn't. But luckily, I've got a pillow. Okay, so a pillow works, but a cushion's better. Now, we're going to start with pillow deadlifts. And then we're going to have some fun and do some pillow slams, which are a great exercise for relieving stress and producing power. Because it's often thought that, you know, what stops you from getting frail as you age is a reduction in strength, but it's not. It's actually a reduction. Well, it is, but it also contributed to a reduction in power because you can be really strong, have nice big muscles, but if you can't use them properly, then you're going to struggle. So we're going to, first of all, start with a pillow deadlift, cushion deadlift. So place the cushion on its side by your feet, and we're working on a little bit of knee bend with it. Actually, you're probably the best person to demonstrate this because for whatever reason, I'm not as flexible as Jonah. He's the man. So do you want to take over?
Diminish.
Yeah. Which I can't do. Jonah's being very polite. There you go.
No worries.
Work away.
All the way to the floor, yeah?
let's stand it up. Cool. Stand it.
Oh, like this. Okay, cool. Like a bar. You're just pushing your hips back from the top, trying to keep your shin nice and vertical. How many reps do you want here, John?
10.
Let's do 10.
20.
As I'm going through this, I'm just thinking about my feet, loading my heel and my big toe, trying to keep a good spread across my foot, staying nice and balanced, and pushing my hips through. It's a nightmare on my hamstring, mate.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're doing better than us.
Sorry, what I should have told you is I've just actually, before this session started, which is why I was flapping a bit, I've just massaged Jonah's he's pulled his back and his hamstring. So I just wanted to see him suffer slightly for the hideous training session he gave me the other day. So if you saw Jonah doing it there, that was a lovely example of how the hips should hinge. Now watch when I do it. So I'm not going to bore you to details, but my back completely went when I was 30, 15 years ago. And when I do it, you see I'm struggling. So my hip hinge is no good for Jonah. So if you're just staying there, if you've got a bit of a bad back or bad hip, the thing to look out for is you maintain the neutral spine. So what you don't want to do is bend your back and do it, because you just put in body weight and unnecessary pressure in the back. So you keep your spine neutral and your chest up, and then bend down with the legs. And as you get more warmed up, then you can start trying to do it with straighter legs. And what should happen, what you should be feeling, is the pressure will be in the hamstrings and the calves rather than the lower back. And you can see as I ease into it more, it still looks horrendous, but it feels a bit easier. And then you'll start to see I get a bit better rhythm. So this is a lovely way. If you wake up, you're really tight and sore in the morning, this is a lovely way to warm up your body, but just really protect yourself. Keep that spine neutral so you don't bend with the spine, you bend with your hip hinge, and if that's not that great, then a little bit of a bend with the knee. Yes, so you can, if you're really feeling it to warm up, you start bending with the knee, okay? And then when that feels a bit better, a few sessions in, then try and keep your legs a bit straighter and bend with the hip. So a good cue would be, imagine there's one of those kitchen, the big kitchen units. The drawer's been left open, and you're going to close the drawer with your bum, like so. Okay, so just shut the drawer with your bum, keeping your back straight. Okay? No. So you don't really want to lock the knees. You want to always, when we're exercising, keep the knees slightly soft. So we don't mean bent, we just mean slightly soft. So your body weight's sitting in your thighs and you can feel your core on. Because the trouble is when you lock the knee, you're hyperextending the calves, you're putting a lot of pressure in your calves. Everyone's calves are tight. So if you're locking and then you're loading into those tight calves, ready to pull. Okay, we've got another question there. Yeah, this one would just develop. So what you want to do is break it down. Break it down. So if you're struggling with any exercise, break it down into smaller components. So what you can start doing, forget the cushion, hands on thighs, bend down to your knees like so. And just concentrate, the thing to concentrate on is your back staying straight, is it staying neutral? See if you can do that down to the knee, like so. To keeping everything nice and tight, nice and tidy. So your arms stay straight, like so. Okay, then when that feels comfortable, try and go a little bit far. Do that, and then you can move on to try and pick an object up from the floor like a pillow. Okay? Right, last exercise. We're going to finish with some fun. Now, this is much better with a cushion. And this is called the cushion slams. So, we want a nice wide stance here, right? We are going to get your energy levels high. We're going to get you out of breath. We're going to get some of that stress and tension out of the body. So what we do is nice and wide. So sit with bent knees, keep the core on. We're going to bring the cushion up over our heads as far back as we can. And then in one massive rapid movement, we are going to slam it down onto the floor. Okay? Then you can add your pillow deadlift. Come down, pick it back up. This is the slow bit. Gently come back up. Okay? Cushion up. And then slam it down onto the floor like so. Any questions on that? Everyone happy with that? Okay. So what we're going to do, so you should feel your heart going a bit now. We're going to do 5 in a row. Okay? Do them as fast or slow as you want. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and rest. So this is one of my all-time favorite exercises because it's great. It works on a hip pin. It works your thighs. It works your hamstrings. It works your glutes. It works your posture. It works your core. It gets rid of stress and tension, and it gets you out of breath. It's great for power. So let's do another 5. Ready? Big deep breath. Let's get that heart rate up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last time. 5. Good. Right, so your heart should be banging a bit now. So let's just calm that down a bit. So whenever you're exercising, if you raise your heart rate, the worst thing to do is just stop. Okay, because that can make you feel sick. When you exercise, all the blood rushes around to the major muscles. So if you just stop, it's not going to be in your head. So you always calm it down just for 30 seconds to a minute. Nice big deep breaths. And feel your heart rate reducing, lowering back down to its resting level. Okay, let's widen the feet. Nice slow deep breaths. Bring the feet closer together. Nice slow regular breaths. Let's just finish with a gentle calf stretch. So one leg back, hands on hips or wherever you feel comfortable. Leading off the front leg, lean, lean, lean. Keep that back leg nice and straight. Back heel push down into the floor. And let's hold that for a few more seconds. 3, 2, 1. And then switch sides. So lean in off the front knee, pushing that leg straight, the back leg straight, heel down into the floor. Hold it there. And rest. Good. Right. That's it. So I hope you enjoyed our 4 sessions. Thank you very much. And if you do remember, if you want to book, contact me. My email address is on the website, or you can download it for free on there. Thank you very much.